Okay, so every year on March 8th, it happens like clockwork, right? Our social media feeds just explode with posts about International Women's Day. But, behind all those hashtags and celebratory messages, there's a really powerful story, a story of protest, of progress, and this ongoing, relentless call for equality. So let's get past the posts and really dig into the protest. Let's find out what this day is actually all about. We all know the name for sure, but do we know the story? I mean, where did it even come from? This day wasn't cooked up in some marketing meeting. Its roots are so much more radical than you might think, born in the fire of real-world struggle. So come on, let's peel back the layers and get to the real story here. All right, first things first, before we get into the nitty-gritty history, let's just ground ourselves in what this day officially stands for, beyond all the social media buzz. So the official UN definition boils down to two huge missions: recognizing achievement and advocating for equality. Just think about that for a second. It's a celebration and it's a call to action, all at the same time. And that duality, that's what gives this day so much of its power. Okay, now for the history lesson, and trust me, it's not what you'd expect. This day was not created to sell flowers or brunch specials. No way. It was forged in the fire of industrial struggle. So this all started with the shouts of working women back in the early 1900s. They were demanding better pay, shorter hours, and the right to vote. For decades, it was this collection of passionate but kind of scattered movements. The real game changer came in 1977. That's when the United Nations officially recognized it, giving it this massive global platform. And that's what transformed those grassroots protests into the coordinated worldwide day we know today. So why do we still need a whole day dedicated to this? Well, it's because the mission is far from over. Let's really look at the core purpose that's driving this whole global movement. This really just captures those two sides of the coin we were talking about. It's not only about pointing out what's wrong, it's also about honoring how far we've actually come and celebrating the women who got us here. It's kind of like a moment to refuel for the fight ahead, but also to recognize the victories we've already won. And that advocacy piece, it's not some abstract idea. It's about real-world battles. We're talking about really tangible issues, like finally closing that gender pay gap that just seems to persist everywhere. It's about breaking down barriers so more women can become leaders. It's about making sure every single girl has a chance to get an education and fighting for healthcare systems that actually treat women equitably. These aren't just ideas. They're the active front lines in the fight. And, the day doesn't shy away from the really dark parts of inequality either. A huge part of its mission is to confront the global issue of violence against women. Everything from domestic abuse and harassment to these broader systemic problems. It forces a conversation that's incredibly difficult to have, but it's absolutely necessary if we want to make real progress. But then, on the other side of that difficult truth, you've got the celebration. It's a day to actively honor and amplify the incredible contributions of women in literally every single field you can imagine. We're talking Nobel Prize-winning scientists, local community organizers, world-class athletes, groundbreaking artists. Recognizing these achievements is just so vital. So, how does all this come together on a global scale? Let's take a look at how the day is observed and what it all symbolizes around the world today. Hey, have you ever wondered why you see so much purple on March 8th? It's not random at all. Purple is the official color, and it symbolizes justice and dignity. And you'll often see it paired with green, which stands for hope, and white, which historically represented purity. So together, these colors create this really powerful visual identity for the entire movement. And the movement never just sits still. Each year, there's a new theme that gets chosen to focus all that global energy on a specific, really pressing issue. Things like inclusion, or embracing equity, or breaking biases. This makes sure the conversation is always moving forward and tackling the real challenges of our time. And the way people participate is incredibly diverse. I mean, it's not just one type of thing. You've got massive rallies and marches in the streets demanding policy changes. You have academic conferences sharing new research, cultural events celebrating female artists, and of course, these huge social media campaigns that bring the conversation to literally millions of people online. So all of this leads to the most important part, right? The call to action. What does it actually mean to participate in the mission of International Women's Day? Well, action really happens on every level. For us as individuals, it can start with a personal commitment, challenging our own biases and actively celebrating the women in our lives.
For organizations, it means putting real policies in place, things like equal pay audits and fair promotion practices. And then for governments, it means creating, and this is the key part, enforcing laws that protect and advance true equality. See, everyone has a role to play.
And this is the final and maybe the most crucial point. March 8th is a spotlight. It's a day to rally, to refocus, but the real work, the effort that creates change that actually lasts, that doesn't fit into a 24-hour window. It's a continuous, year-round commitment. So I'll leave you with this to think about. The goal is full equality. Is one day a year really enough to achieve it? Or is March 8th the spark we need to ignite the work for all the other 364 days?